office like we never left. Today we have a special guest. We have Armando, that you are running for commissioner of Sweetwater.
Group number 4.
I love this. I love that you guys are getting together and you're doing this for your community, because you see how your community is like not doing so well right now.
Yes,
we're trying to be nice. So I love that you guys are getting together as a concerned citizen and getting together to help your community how it used to be. Because Sweetwater, everybody knows Sweetwater.
Yes. Okay.
So you actually live in the trailers?
Yes.
So how did it come? If you want to like to talk about yourself first, and then we'll...
It's a nightmare. I have been living over there for the past 2 years. And it's a small group, 900 families, 908 to be specific, we used to be. And now with this eviction notice that started last year,
in November.
Yes, we came together. Mm-hmm. We become a huge family. Mm-hmm. And it's tough when you see elderly persons that cannot afford rent, they live by themselves, and they have been living over there for 20, 30, 40 years. Right now, they used to be third generations living in the park.
Right.
And when you go outside to Miami and you say Little Abner, the mobile park, everybody knows someone who lived over there.
Right.
So it was a community that for many years was established over there. We came together on these difficult times, right? And this is the reason why myself and 2 other residents, we decided to be part of the city. Mm-hmm. So, because we felt that they left us alone. They did not protect us. There's so many things they could do just to make the process being smooth and right. Mm-hmm. And we totally understand that it's a private property. The owner has his own rights to use and abuse of the land. But the way that pretty much we can say they kick us out, yes, they give us 6 months because that's what the law requires. But when you have been living over there for 20, 30 years, you consider that your home.
Right.
And a change like that in 6 months, you cannot think about it. What I'm going to do, where I'm moving. I wasn't planning to do this. I'm forced to do this.
Right.
Because we are not regular tenants. This is not a landlord-tenant relationship. This is a homeowner for the mobile homes and park owners. Because we have more rights than regular tenants. If we were regular tenants, when you have a lease, they give you 60 days notice and you need to move.
Right.
And even the turnaround, the person lasts 2 to 3 years renting. 80%. They always change it. They want to size up, to downsize, whatever. But when you believe, when you feel this is your home, it's hard.
It's hard.
It's been really hard these past few months.
So you guys knew the whole time that the property is not yours.
Yes.
Because a lot of people were saying, pero ya tienen que saber que the property es de Raúl y ellos se pueden ir cuando, él puede vender cuando él quiere. Pero I feel, and you said it too, it was the way that they did this.
Yes.
They did this in the holidays, and honestly, the way that they treated you guys is like if you guys were garbage. That's how I see it, and yes. I don't live in Sweetwater.
Yes.
We went 3 times to Sweetwater, and one of the times Pepe was there in front of me. And he was like annoying that he was talking to you guys. It was like in the middle of the night. He got the microphone thing. He was talking. He started screaming, and I got involved. I'm like, you're the leader of this community. You know, if they're not talking to you, who are they going to talk to?
Yeah, that's correct. And that's something that we're facing. And after that night, we felt that our officials let us down. And again, we understand the land have an owner, and the city cannot stop the sale.
Right.
The change in the city. But there's many ways that they can do it to make it smoother and easier for us. For example, right now, the past month, we have been dealing with the demolitions. We are the ones who needs to be talking to these inspectors on the city, building inspector, because they're doing demolition without safety, no concern. So that's something the city can step in and say, okay, Mr. Owner, I know you want to do this. We approve your demolition permits, but you need to do it the right way, like the human way. and that's if this is only this is what happened to us. Right now, the city of Sweetwater, it's considered a university district. So they're building high-rises buildings. And this has happened with us. So what happened, the neighbors that live next to one of these huge construction, they're not living on there's no accountability to these developers. And I'm living this, I'm seeing it. So that's why we're trying to make some changes directly from the city, because not only the mayor went one day, but the commissioners, they have not been over there. They haven't said a word.
Supposedly they did. They went, supposedly.
No, they did not.
They did not.
They did not. The mayor Pepe Diaz went one day. He said the city was going to provide help for us. The help was minimal. They have a group of realtors to help us find a rent. Miami Housing Department was over there, so you can join the list for Plan 8 and to help you with the rent, but you're not waiting list.
So they never offered you guys an apartment in the Young room?
No.
Because there was a rumor.
No.
They actually asked me yesterday to tell you guys that they did offer them an apartment in the Young room.
Whoa. Maybe someone went over there and got on the list, but we're talking about 908 families. Not single persons, families. Can you multiply that for at least 3?
Right.
So most of the units, they're 1-bedroom apartment, top, most of them. So we did not receive the support from the city. And that made me really upset seeing the reality of this elderly person that they were rent. They do not work anymore. They cannot afford a market value payment of the rent. The whole families, for example, in my case, I'm paying $1,200 monthly. If I have to move, I will need to get a 2-bedroom apartment. We're talking at least $2,500, double what I'm paying right now.
Right.
So, and it's funny because the point of the evictions, they're planning to build 10 more buildings for low income tenants. But what happened? The city, on one memorandum, they said the minimum allowed for low-income tenants is 20%. So yes, they're gonna build 3,000 units, but from those 3,000 units, only 300 or 600 are going to be for low-income, 1-bedroom apartment. And when I say low-income, I'm not talking about $1,100. What it is right now, you have a housing for a whole family of 5, 6, 4, 3 for 1,200. So it do not make sense that you kicked out 900 families, 5,000 people, 4,000 people, and bring 3,000 when only 600 are going to take advantage of that program.
Right.
So those are the things that concern me, and from the city, we can try to make things to do not happen this way.
Right. So what inspired you to run for commissioner, and how does it plan to engage with the community?
The city of Sweetwater, it's have power to oversee constructions, to make sure that law is applied. And my experience that I'm living right now, every single day for the past 2 months when they start the demolitions, is they're looking the other way. So we just need people on the city that do their job, even though if it goes against the people they receive funds for the campaign, because they're public records. When you check all the commissioners, they receive funds from these big developers.
Right.
So why? I don't know, for some favors? Probably. And we need the city to renew itself. We need to bring more buildings, more commerce, and we need the change. I'm totally agree with that, and I support it. But what you're gonna do with your primary residents, the one that elect you to be there?
Right.
You cannot just forget about us and because the city needs to grow. No, the city needs to grow, but you need to think about us.
That's what I see. I noticed. I've noticed they care more FIU students than the actual residents.
That's correct.
So I talked about this with Teresita and Mario. I noticed that FIU has beautiful buildings,
Yes.
and then a step down, their sidewalk is falling apart.
Correct.
The potholes are falling apart.
Yes.
They're removing small business from there because they want all these buildings to grow. As you as a commissioner, how can you change that?
The first thing is that they're changing the zonification for University District.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that every single year, the homeowners in the commercials needs to challenge that district so it can lower back their taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, on the beginning of the year, Sedanos on 107 and Flagler,
Oh yes.
they sent their lawyer because they every year they switch the zonification to University District, so the taxes go higher, the property taxes. They need to challenge it so they can go back to a regular commercial use and they can pay the same taxes. But guess what? Also happens to the homeowners. A duplex, normally they are around the university, they used to pay in 2023 $6,000 property taxes. Now with the district of university, they're paying almost double.
Oh,
And
wow.
people don't know. They don't know how to challenge. They don't know they can do that. But what happens to that? 80% of the population in Sweetwater, they're tenants. That means the rent is going to increase. Why? Because they're paying double the taxes. And this is a business. I totally understand it. But what is the city doing with this extra cash flow? We have a huge problem with the image of the police of Sweetwater from so many years. That's another point that I would like to focus my campaign and my work on the city. We need to change completely, bring the police to the community so they can feel they're safe, they're protected, because there's many scandals. You can Google them.
Right.
You can see it. The police on Sweetwater, it was really tough. It was corruption. I don't say it. You can see it on it's news.
Yeah.
And we need to change that. Also, in the beginning of this year, the city approved a memorandum to completely and fully help ICE on the detention of illegal immigrants. This memorandum, they have 3 options that you can choose to help them. The city of Sweetwater, all the commissioners in the mayor, they decide to go to the full extent of the programs. 96% in Sweetwater, we are 20,300 residents, and 96% were Hispanic. That means that if there's some issues with the police, now it's going to be more, because you are affecting 96% of your population. We don't trust them anymore, and now we're going to trust them less, because we all know what's going on with the immigration programs right now from the government, and I strongly believe that decision was wrong. We could help ICE on execute arrest warrant or deportation orders, but not on the full extent when our police, they're going to be trained and they're going to act like an ICE officers. They can stop you, they can ask for your identification, your immigration status, and they can send you to Crumb's detention center. We don't need that. We have too much problems with the image of the police and
especially
the
in Sweetwater.
Yes, in the
Sweetwater is rumored not to be the nicest cops.
agree.
And we just saw a video recently with the poor lady that went through, and he threw her to the floor.
Yes.
Not necessary. Everything that he did, threw her on the floor, made her concussion, and that was very unnecessary.
Yes, it was horrible. And those little things are the ones that I would like to change, or at least present. We have a problem, we need to fix it. And if we have happy residents, we're going to have a safer environment, a neighborhood for all of us. If they trust the police. We have been living since January, when I would say 80% of the mobile park owners, they left, abandoned their mobile homes. And we were calling every single day the police department, hey, you need to come here because there's some squatters, there's people, they're robbing, and
there's homeless there.
yes,
There's condoms everywhere. And now there's rotten animals because I guess the animals are they're dying there because they're left behind, and it's horrible.
Yes, it's horrible, and we felt that the city did not want to help us.
I do feel the same.
And we are, as I mentioned, we're 5,000 people who used to live over there. It's not 100 to 100. So the city, again, we were back in 2023, 20,300. Now, how many we are? 15,000? Just like this.
Right.
They just disappear. So that's one of the reasons that the three of us, we decide to run and make a change from the inside.
Right. Because you guys are not politicians.
We're not.
You're concerned citizens.
That's correct. And that's what we're supposed to be for the commissioners, people that understand the problematics of your neighborhood. And right now, I'm living a big problem, as I mentioned to you on the beginning. The city cannot stop changes. The city needs to improve, to make changes.
Right.
But they need first to think about the residents, the people that elect us. On the previous election 2 years ago, you will see all these commissioners knocking door on us. I need your vote, I need your vote. But none one of them came and said, listen, there's nothing we can do because this is what the law says. He can do whatever he wants. But we're going to help you that while last, it's going to be decent place to live, a clean place to live. That one, since January, it's been horrible. Trash, broken windows, doors.
There was a fire 2 days ago.
Yes, and one a month before.
Right.
And all that because the doors are open, the windows they're exposed. You're not supposed, a dwelling, it must be covered from windows and entrance. So it's secure. And the city overlooked that. And we have tons of videos and complaints to the city.
We post them all the time too. Do you feel the politicians failed you guys?
Definitely. The people that elect us. On the previous election 2 years ago, you will see all these commissioners knocking door on us. I need your vote, I need your vote. But there's no way for their action to be justified.
Right.
Because we're not talking about getting to the problem of he can say, oh, we're leaving, we're not leaving, we're fighting. It's do what the city is supposed to do. Protect the neighborhood. If you're doing destruction, a month ago, they received a $100,000 violation for asbestos. They said, oh, we made an inspection. Guess what? From 38 trailers that were going to be demolished, 14 had asbestos. So you're still doing demolitions. Do they did a new inspection for that? I don't think so. And if they did, someone should come to us say, hey, there was a problem.
Right.
Not anymore. I make sure that the demolition is being proper. It's being covered up. It's fenced. There's security. There's nothing's gonna go to the air or to the ground, to the water. And that's not happening. And that's the least they can do for us.
I know. We posted a video of a poor lady who was trying to go to her clinic, that the bus is from the clinic, Santos Medical Center, and she couldn't leave. And I tell the commissioner, how about that lady needed to get a prescription of her medication? How about she's a diabetic and nothing. There's kids that haven't gone to school because the buses can't go up to them and they can't leave their house. And I feel that the commissioner and the mayor has failed the community.
Yes.
So I love this idea that you guys are coming together and you're running for commissioner, especially that you guys are a concerned citizen. I always feel like the politician world has to have a little bit of everything. Not everybody has to be attorneys and politicians. I feel like there has to be a mix of everything because for people to be on the same page, you know? What is your vision for Sweetwater? What is the vision for Sweetwater, and what changes do you hope to improve to become elected?
It's pretty much all the points are the same. I want to focus myself on the city to make the law apply the law to these big developments. You want to build here, perfect, but you need to cover the construction. You cannot work after hours or before hours. Sometimes they start working at 6 in the morning. You're supposed to start working at 7. We need the city to renew, to grow, but it needs to be on the right way so it do not affect the other residents. You have your one-story home next to this huge building, 14, 15, 16 floors, and there's debris falling down, there's trucks coming in and out, blocking your way. And the city can help us with that.
Right.
The city can work with the big developers, and yes, you need to do the construction, but we need to protect the environment. We need to protect our citizens. On the way, also this university district, I will plan to find a way that it do not renew automatically, so we can keep the rent down, lower rent for the students and for regular people. The average income on the city of Sweetwater on 2023, I believe it was like $36,000, which unfortunately Sweetwater is not a city where rich people live.
Right.
We're not Brico, we're not Coral Gables. So we need to focus our politics on the reality of the people that live over there. Other elderly people, retire, and those little things, we need to find a way to fix it. The police, we need to change the image of the police, but not the image. We need to really make a change that people feel good about the police. When they call the police, they're gonna feel they're calling a friend, someone's coming to help you.
Right. Not what's scared. They're scared to call the police in Sweetwater.
Yes, and most of the time they say, "Oh, don't call the police. They never come. They never do nothing." So, yeah, but we need to make the report. Without a report, we don't have the statistics that we can say, "Hey, here's a problem." If we make 100 calls and they only show up in 20, there's 80 missing. We have a problem.
Right. Are you facing any challenges that you're running for commissioner with other commissioners they're on board now?
Well, yes. The biggest challenge is that they're trying to be reelected. They understand how politics work. We're not politics here.
Right.
We are getting fundraiser from neighbors. $5, $10. These people, they get $5,000, $10,000.
They get endorsed.
Correct. So, and it's when you don't understand and you don't know the way politics works, it's hard. Because most of these commissioners, this is going to be their third and last re-election. The city do not allow more than 3 terms. And most of the people, even though they understand our concerns, which is their concern as well, but they don't trust, or they don't used to trust outsiders. Oh no, but you're not politics. You don't know what you're gonna do.
Right.
That's the idea. I don't want to be politics. I don't want to know what I'm gonna do because I know what's the problem. And the commissioners, their job is to oversee the problems and find a solution. They don't need to be expert in anything. The city have expert, building department, code enforcement, legal department. Hey, we have this problem. What are the solutions? Let's find the best solution. And that's the big challenge that most of the people, they don't understand that we need regular and common people to be commissioners. Major, well, that's maybe different because a mayor is pretty much and someone who administrate the city, right? And have more power and might need more knowledge of things, how to get the funds from Miami-Dade, from the county, or even from the governor. Needs to understand how things work. But on the commissioner level, it's hard. It's hard. We don't know you. How do you know you're gonna do right?
Right.
Versus these people, they already have 2 terms and they say, oh, but what have you done in the city of Sweetwater the past 5 years? Besides these big developers, there's nothing have changed. They opened a new park, the Mascanosa Park, but besides that, there's no renewal. There's no investment on the city. The roads, they're not in good condition. The sidewalk as well. There's many bus stop without a bench. You see the people waiting over there standing 1 or 2 hours. the system here, the bus, it's, if you miss that one, you don't know when's gonna come the next one.
Right.
It's not that reliable. So it's little things that I can improve the living and how we grow in the city.
Okay, I love this. I love all this. I 100% approve this. I support this because I love that you guys are getting together and you're doing this. So before we finish, is there any words you want to tell the people that follow us why they should vote for you?
Yes, we need to make a change, and change are not easy. But when you have the belief, when you have your heart on the right way, when you have the right vision of what do you want, when you have the purpose, it's easy to do it. And I'm not here to ask your vote just because I'm asking to you. It's because I'm having the same problems that you have, that you had, or worse, that you can maybe have next year. Because maybe next year they start building a 14-story condo tower next to you, and what I'm suffering with the dust, you're gonna suffer it. We don't want that.
Right.
We want to keep the tax low so the rent it can be lower, or not even for the rent. The homeowners, you're retired. Finally, you pay off your home, and now you're getting hit with double your taxes. That's tough. It's hard.
It is.
So we need to find a way to help and make it work. The city to grow, but helping and taking care of the relationship of the citizens.
I love this. So we're going to post his Instagram for you could follow him. And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Do you have any events coming up for the community to come and meet you?
Yes, we're gonna have the three commissioners. We're going to host a fundraiser in the May 5th.
Okay.
So we can start people seeing each other. They can ask us questions, because I just give you a few points for my vision of the city. But there's a big list. There's so many things missing that we need to change.
So we have to do a part 2.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you so much for coming, and
pleasure.
we'll see you then on May 5th.